Hey there, and welcome back to the Disconnected. Today, I had fully recorded this entire video and a video for Wednesday, and I lost all of my footage. So I'm going to do this on the quick so that we can get this out today. What we're going to do is dive deep into what we are expecting coming up for the Vinegar Syndrome sale and explain why I think the Vinegar Syndrome subscription is worth it. Let's dive in. All right, so coming up for the Vinegar Syndrome sale, they've been teasing every single week some mystery titles that we've got coming, and then, of course, all of the information for the sale. So let's check out their last update. The last thing that they posted says there's now just 14 days to go until halfway to Black Friday 2022. It kicks off at 12:01 a.m. Eastern on May 27th. That is Thursday going into Friday, just past midnight, the weekend of Memorial Day weekend. And then you have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern on May 30th to take advantage of the savings. So what that means is from Thursday night going into Friday, all the way until the end of the day on Monday, you're going to be able to shop with all of the sale prices. The coolest thing that we've talked about on here before about the sale is that they have their add to existing sale order option. So no matter if you buy one item right at midnight or 10 items right at midnight, and then the rest of the weekend you start browsing and you see all kinds of stuff that you want, you can keep adding and not paying for shipping the entire time, and then it all shows up in one box. It's awesome the way they do it. I love how they do that. Unfortunately, it can be super addicting. So make sure that you're checking yourself and not spending just exorbitant amounts of money. That is possible. Spend within your means. This is a great time. Everybody loves this sale. But what can we expect that's brand new for the sale? So we know that we have Thriller, also known as They Call Her One Eye, Miami Connection, and Cloak and Dagger. Those are all coming on 4K. Cloak and Dagger is the VSU title. The others are coming as part of the regular Vinegar Syndrome line. And then we're also getting Horror High making its uncut home video debut, and that is paired with Stanley on Blu-ray. And then they have the secret titles. I'm going to go over a little more on the secret titles in just a second, but there's a few other things. We know for sure that we are getting some catalog slipcovers, and their last hint is this picture of a golf cart. Now, I believe that this is related to Hobgoblins. People have wanted a slipcover for Hobgoblins for a long time, and it appears that it's finally happening. So we're going to have that, two more catalog slipcovers, and then a catalog box to make a box set, basically. Last time we got that was for the Rudy Ray Moore collection with 4 films. Some people are saying this one's going to be taboo, but others are saying that's not possible. We don't know yet. We're going to find out. But we do know that they are coming out with some more of those. We are going to get 2 new VSA titles, and then, of course, they usually put out merch. And things like this shirt is nice. I love that they put out stuff like that. Sometimes they put out like vinyl records, enamel pins. They've done they called them mini slipcovers, and then those had pins inside of them. They've done all kinds of stuff. Their merch is pretty great. Every single week when Vinegar Syndrome is hyping up the sale, they've been giving new hints for the mystery titles. So let's go over those. For 1 week, they said you'll be able to pre-order and secure your copies of this year's dynamic duo of secret surprise titles, one of which is a sure-to-please 80s monster pick, and the other the latest in our dig into the weird world of WTF cinema. The next time, they said, what about the 2 secret titles? One marks the worldwide Blu-ray debut of a long out-of-legal circulation, gory early 80s monster flick, which we've painstakingly restored from its OCN, and that's on 16mm. And the other is a way out-of staple of mid-80s cable TV and midnight movie marathons, which joins the ranks of our other WTF milestones, and has also been freshly and exclusively restored from our long-lost negative elements. The next week, they said, we always try to save the weirdest, wildest, rarest, and or most head-spinning flicks for the secret titles, so as always, be prepared for a doozy. First up, making its worldwide Blu-ray debut from a stunning new 4K restoration of its original negative, is a grim, grimy, and gruesome indie monster movie featuring a very peeved creature stalking sunny SoCal. This one took a ton of wrangling to get right, and we couldn't be happier to give it new life. Plus, if you're starved for a helping of Only in the 80s insanity, you'll no doubt fall head over heels for the star-studded oddity with a typically off-the-wall premise that's been causing jaws to drop for nearly 40 years. Then they said, when the sale goes live, our 2 secret surprise titles will be unveiled at last. One is a weirdo slice of Only in the 80s trash, which we're pleased to present in its Ultimate Edition, restored from long-lost negative elements, and the other, an ambitious, no-budget monster murder pick, which we painstakingly restored back to near-pristine quality from its bruised and battered original negative. And finally, this was from just a few days ago, and what of the secret titles? Those will be revealed at last, and we're sure you'll agree that they're out of this world. Plus, as always, we've revived a duo of stellar action rarities with some surprising star power, both of which will be making their worldwide Blu-ray debuts via VSA. And for those of you awaiting the next round of catalog slips and box, we've got 3 such reveals in store comprising 6 films. So that means we know that the catalog box is going to be a box for 3 movies. We know that we're getting the 3 catalog slips and then the star-studded VSAs that they just alluded to. There's a lot here. The speculation currently going around the internet is that one of those mystery titles is probably William Malone's Scared to Death. We're not entirely sure, but that does sound accurate. And the other one, it could be a handful of things. Some people are saying some very off-the-wall titles. None of them really seem to fit for me, but we'll find out when everything gets announced this upcoming next week. And I can't wait. The sale is great. So you have 2 opportunities throughout the year to be a Vinegar Syndrome subscriber, one during each of their main sales. The one in May will give you access to titles released from July through November. So you are not going to get Vinegar Syndrome subscription titles in June nor December. Those are only going to be partner label months, and everything else is going to be given to you, where you're able to have everything in the main Vinegar Syndrome catalog. That means no VSA, VSU, or VSP. Everything else is fair game, and you will be getting it as part of your subscription with free shipping for the entirety of the year. And then on top of that, you get discounts on those VSAs, VSUs, VSPs, Picораmas, and all of the partner label releases, which are some of my favorites. I adore the partner labels, and I think that they are doing some of the best work over at OCN. The biggest thing that everybody wants to know is about price. So last year, the halfway subscription was $460. Of course, since last May, our nation has suffered a huge amount of inflation. We are all fighting higher prices across the board, and that means I'm betting that prices are going to go up on this year as well. We are probably going to be hitting somewhere between $500 and $550. Remember, shipping prices have increased, and then on top of that, materials and everything else. That subscription for the rest of the year, we already know a handful of the titles. Just this last week when they were hyping up the sale, they said, and speaking of the rest of the year, we hope you're getting ready to savor the UHD premiere of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, our next Forgotten Jolly box set, our next Homegrown Horrors box set, which will feature Moonstalker, Shriek of the Mutilated, which was supposed to come out earlier in the year, but it got delayed to the second half of the year, and so much more. This is looking to be a great year for Vinegar Syndrome, possibly one of their best years, in my opinion. Everything released so far this year has been a pretty solid title, and I think that we've got some big names coming. A lot of people are happy with that. A lot of people are unhappy with that. If you are happy with those and you're loving what you're seeing, I may suggest subscribing. I put out a video before talking about the merits of subscribing and why I think it's worth it. I'll link to that above and in the description below. So if there's anything you want to watch, it's a little bit of a long video, but I do think it's worth it. And in the meantime, if there's any questions you have, go ahead and ask me in the comments below. Once again, happy Vinegar Syndrome month. And as I always say, from one collector to all of you, have a good night.